this, do you know how big this is? I promise you do not understand just how big this is. Think of something big and then double it. That's how big this is. If you knew how big this was, you would be doing this right now. And ETH has just broken $2,000 for the first time in months. But is that it? And will we be getting a short-term dump? Or are we about to unleash the beast all over the chest of the baby bears? One thing is for sure. This will change your life. I'm your host, Scoots McDoots, and the signals and signs that these charts are flashing in our faces right now are massive. And if you do not act right now, you risk missing out on the chance of a lifetime. These absolutely time-sensitive alerts take advantage of over $16,000 in free deposit bonuses using the 3 exchanges below, specifically BitGet for US traders. In addition, 15% off trading fees and a free $20 just by signing up with that BitGet link below for a limited time. And as well, anybody that has questions about the TSC stake pool, we actually did just get word that Curb will be distributing soon. And if you're in our pool, you already are receiving the ADA and the Ape Society tokens. But if you do have any specific questions, we have a TSC Stake Pool Twitter, which I will link in the description below. So any questions, just reach out there, and you'll get a response within 24 hours. And without any further ado, let's magoo. Over the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has set a very big precedent here, and specifically Ethereum. And that's what we want to talk about first here. So Ethereum has just reached the highest levels that it has been since May of 2022, breaching $2,000 for the first time since then. Now, as we talked about, this is big for a lot of reasons, but one being we were able to get above this pretty big roadblock of resistance pretty much between 1750 and 1950. This very big range right here, Ethereum has been able to make a move above that, which in my opinion makes the bull case for Ethereum over the next few weeks going into the merge extremely strong. But do not get your pickles in a bunch just yet. So even though Ethereum looks very good, there's a lot else. There's a lot of other things to be delving into. And if we take a squeak peek on these charts, again, I think one very important thing is we talked about this bearish divergence for Bitcoin yesterday. I don't think we're out of the woods in terms of this. I still think we could see a short-term move to the downside over the next few days. Specifically, remember, weekend price action is very iffy, meaning weekend price action kind of does what it wants to do, and then when Monday comes back, a lot of the times the price resumes in a way that doesn't really relate to the weekend price action in general. Pretty much, weekend price action often is kind of an enigma. It kind of can just go a little nuts, and it doesn't really mean too much. It doesn't have a long-lasting effect, whatever it does on the weekends. In terms of the longer trend, basically, it's a long way of saying whatever happens on the weekends doesn't really determine too much of what happens on a longer-term trend. So with that, I think it's important to note that, we should still be a little bit cautious here, especially as Bitcoin actually has failed to set a higher high. If we zoom in here, the higher high, it came within like a couple dollars of setting a higher high, but it has not done that just yet. Ethereum has, which has been leading Bitcoin, so that's a really good sign. But as well, the entire crypto market cap is doing something insanely impressive, and I think everybody has to be watching this right now. There is so much momentum building up on the weekly chart for the entire crypto market that I think it's impossible to ignore. And one of the things I think, before we really continue with that is that, there's so many things showing that, even if this is not the beginning of a bull market, which I don't really necessarily think it is, I just think it's the beginning of a very strong relief rally that will last multiple weeks and months. Taking a look here, it looks very, very much as though the worst of the bear market very likely could be over. And I think that's the big debate everyone's having right now. And this chart simplifies it really. If we take a look even on something as simple as the long-term RSI on the weekly, which also matches up with the MACD, which we could talk about here, right? This is the entire cryptocurrency market cap. This is not Bitcoin, this is not Ethereum, this is the entire crypto market on a chart. And basically, one thing I think is very significant about this is that the MACD swung absolutely massively to the upside, and then ever since the beginning of 2021, pretty much, has swung massively to the downside. And now that we've gotten this MACD cross here, I think that the momentum will equally be as ferocious and violent to the upside. I'm not saying that, by tomorrow or like over the next week, it's going to be the most bullish environment you've ever seen. However, on a long-term chart over the next few months, I think it's just very, very likely that we're going to see a very, very violent upswing. And the fact that the biggest technological upgrade of any altcoin in history, Ethereum, is set in about a month from now, the merge, how will that affect everything? Will it be a sell the news type event? Probably. I think when a lot of that ETH comes unlocked, it will actually push the price down a little bit. But again, if everything goes successfully, the months after the merge actually is completed, I could see that continuing to push the market up. So basically what I'm saying is, in my opinion, it makes sense that we pump into the merge. We do have a sell the news type event when the merge actually comes out and everything's everything's realized and it's not just a hope and a dream anymore, and we actually switch to proof of stake. However, in the months following that, I do think it's very likely that, especially if it goes well, that we resume that kind of uptrend. So I think that's very important. But in the meantime, I personally think that before we even get the merge in about a month, a little over a month, I think it's likely that Ethereum breaches 2,500 minimum. I think that's a very, very conservative target. Ethereum has already broken 2,000, and at this very second, it's right around that price. But considering all things, this market looks just very bullish right now. And again, with Bitcoin here, I still think it's very possible we actually get this move to the upside. Again, we have to keep in mind so much of it is determined by things outside of crypto, like the macroeconomic situation. But one big thing I think about this upcoming week is that if we see the DXY get rejected here, as we've been talking about, we've so far been very accurate with the DXY moves over the past couple of weeks. If the DXY gets rejected right here, and we do see another leg down, prepare for a very explosive week for crypto. Prepare for very big bullish possibilities for Bitcoin over just this next week. So pretty soon here. These are absolutely time-sensitive alerts. Take advantage of over $16,000 in deposit bonuses below, specifically for U.S. traders. BitGet and additional bonuses are with BitGet actually as well for a limited time using my link. Reduced trading fees, 15% off, and just free $20 for signing up with my link below. And without any further ado, that's for me.